What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with AOB. I hope you guys had a really great Thanksgiving. For those of you that do celebrate or in an area that do celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a great time with your family. Let's jump right into it. Today, we're going to do something. People have talked about it for a long time. I've heard different variations of this. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to the 10th number that just spin, the 10th result, and we're going to bet the opposite of that. The theory is, what's the chance that that 10 number pattern is going to repeat exactly the same in the next 10? So if we do the opposite of it, at least somewhere in there, we should win. And we're going to be a little bit aggressive. We're going to play Martingale plus, which means we're going to double our bet plus add one base unit. If you look over here at the chart, I'm going to start with a $5 unit. For us to have 10 progressions, I need a $10,180 bankroll. And if you look down here, that's what we're starting out with, okay? So there's our progression chart. Let's get it going on here. The opposite would be low, if I can get it there. Okay, we got it in. So what I've done is, if you look down here, you can see the entire game history all along here, right? But what I've done at the top there is I've blown up just the last 10 so that you can see, and we'll be betting on this last number right here. We'll be doing the opposite. I'm gonna go high-low, and we're going to do the exact opposite of whatever that number is. Awesome. Okay. And again, the next number is 23 after that 24. So we're going to go low again. Double or zeros are our killer on this one here. We don't, for zeros, we're just going to maintain whatever the previous number was. So after this, when we get to zero, if we're around that long, if we get to zero, we will just go back, and whatever the previous one was, we'll do the opposite. So we're going to do the exact opposite and cross our fingers that that same exact pattern of high lows doesn't repeat itself in 10 spins. And we'll go all the way up to 10. All right, there we go. Okay, nice. And we're going to stay down low because the next 10th number out, right, is 26. So we're going to go opposite of that. You could do high, low, even, odd, right? Red, black, it doesn't matter. And if you're going to play this style again, for those of you that are new, I know most of you already know this. You're going to want to play on a French Le Partage table, because if we hit a zero, we are going to get 50% back, which we did when we hit that zero. So in this case, we would get $2.50 back off of that loss on that zero. That when you're playing nothing but the outside bet, that's the way you want to go. All right, after 26, our next number is 14. That's in line for the 10th, so we're going to go high with this one. We should just stop the video here and go, yeah, see, it's working. It's working. I was talking to Rob this morning. I was telling him that I was going to do a video on this, and he said something that is 100%. You'd be surprised how often these patterns do repeat themselves, and they are. And I tested out in the casino on an ETG machine. I tested out all sorts of patterns, right? Some people like playing red, black, red, black, black, thinking that that exact pattern will be very difficult. I've done it. That pattern hits more often than you think. All right, so we got whacked there. Now we're going low because the next number is 28. So we're gonna go low. And because it's super Martingale and our unit's 5, multiply it by 2, that's 10. Add one base unit, which is 5. We have 15. And again, if you're new, most of you already know this. I know you do, and I've preached on it a bunch of times. And this is generally the way I like playing if I'm playing the outside bets. Instead of just Martingale, where you're doubling, when you get to the end of whatever point, however many losses, and then you finally win, you're paying back all that deficit and you're going up 1 unit. So if you lose, oh boy, okay, here we go. So now we are going 6 is the next one up. So we're gonna I'm gonna repeat the bet, and we're gonna go high, and we're gonna double it and add 5. So no matter how many times you lose, as long as you win, right, in Martingale, you're gonna recover in 1 hit and go up 1 base unit. So if we lose 6 times in a row and we finally win, we're gonna recover all those losses, and we will have profited 1 unit, which in this case is $5, from where we started before we had that first loss. Super Martingale, because we're adding 1 unit for every single step. Well, that's not good. All right, we're gonna stay here on high, double it and add 1 unit. Because we're adding 1 unit at every progression, doubling it, add 1 unit. When we do finally win, if we win, if you don't bust, when you do, you pay back all the deficit, plus for every single loss, you're making 1 unit. So it's exactly the same as if you win every single spin. That's what it comes out to be. The nice thing I like about that, there's no wasted time. So if we're playing just regular Martingale, which is okay, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a little less aggressive and it's a little more conservative. There we go. All right, bingo. So we're going low because the next number here is 33, right? So 33, so we're gonna go low. So I like that because if you play regular Martingale outside bets and you're getting in pretty decent loss streaks, like say 3, 4, win, 2, 3, 4, win, which is very common, right? When you play the outside like this. That means it's taking you 4 spins, let's just say, to make 1 unit. Now, some people argue if you lose, and I've said this before, right? If you lose 6 times and your bet gets up to be pretty big and then you finally win, they just said, oh, you just bet $500 to make 1 unit. All right, our next number is 9, right? So we're going to go high. And that's incorrect math. If you lose a bunch of times and then you finally win and you go up 1 unit, you didn't bet, let's just say $500 to make 1 unit. You bet $500 to win $500. It just so happens that you lost a bunch of times before that. So that's not good. That's not good logic. Or it's just flat out bad math is what it is. And it's a perspective that a lot of people have that I disagree with. Now, if you don't like Martingale because it gets expensive, totally understandable. A lot of people hate Martingale. I happen to really like Martingale. We're going to go here because 29 is our 10th number, right? So we're going to see 29 up there. So hopefully this, me blowing up the bar up there and just showing you the exact last 10 numbers, I don't know, maybe that helps you. Maybe it doesn't when you're watching this, knowing what we're betting on. Maybe I should have just shown just the 10th number, but I wanted you to see what was in front of it. So what's coming up next. So the next number is 0. No matter what, we're going to bet low because we're going to skip the 0 and go back to the previous number, which was the previous result, which was 29. Again, you can play this with red, black, high, low. There, boom. That's a win. So now because it's 0, the previous was 29, we're going to do the opposite of that. Again, the theory is, the philosophy around this is, what's the chance that in 10 numbers, that exact same pattern is going to repeat again? So if you do the opposite of it, you'll be okay. Now, the reality is also that if you're going to play the outside like this, whether it's follow the winner or whatnot, the chance of it, I play it on Clever Bets. It's my new favorite Clever Bet strategy is Martingale Plus. And I play high, low, or even or odd, just because I don't know why. I just color has kicked my ass too many times. So, all right, we've got a 4 here. So we're going to repeat the bet and add 1 unit. When I run Clever Bets, for the most part, it rarely goes up to the frequency of it getting up to like 8 losses in a row is actually, it's not very many. It's pretty low. So I don't know what the probability is of it repeating. I'm not a probabilities guy. I understand what it is, but calculating is not my thing. So my guess is the more progressions you have, the lower the probability is that it'll repeat that exact. So for example, if you say, I'm just going to go back to the second number and play opposite of that, because what's the chance of 2 numbers, the 2 results repeating? The chances are pretty high, right? All right, we're going to stay back up here because the 10th number back is this 4 right here. Wow, she's got 3 4s in the last 11 spins. So that's the theory anyway. That's the philosophy behind this strategy. So we're going to see how it plays out. So far, it's playing out really well. When I run Clever Bets on this, what I have found is that the La Partage tables, for whatever reason, the number of spins you get per hour is decently lower than what you get on, say, the Prague 1, 2, or 3 tables. Okay, so that was a base bet. So the next one's 10. So we're going to go 15 on high, and to the tune of about 11 spins per minute. Now that may not seem like a lot, but 11 spins per minute, and especially if you're going to run this for say 20, 30 hours, if you can, that's substantial. Now the one advantage, so I believe that overall that might make up for the advantage of getting half back on zero. However, last night I was running clever bets on this and on this table right here, and it went down. So 26 is our number. We're going to go opposite of it. It got down into like the 8th progression. So it's a pretty big bet, right? Decently big. And it hit a zero. So I only lost half of that, but clever bets does count it as a full loss and goes ahead and goes to the next progression. It does realize that you only lost half, but it goes on to the next progression. That means when you win, you're getting a really good banger. So if you do hit zeros deeper into your progression and then you win, then you will get some really nice returns on this. All right, that's a loss. We go to 14. We're going to go to high. All right, I'm just going to pull this down. It's easier sometimes when you're playing this, especially if you're not paying as much attention as you should be, that you lose what your bet was. So the easiest thing is just repeat your bet, drag it to where it's supposed to be, double it, and leave it if you're just playing Martingale, or double it and add a unit. All right. So I got up this morning. I was just thinking, because this was a conversation about this type of strategy that I had with one of the team members, or in a voice channel. I don't exactly remember who I was talking to this about. So I thought, okay, let's give this a go for a video and let's see how this works out. So far, it's working out splendidly. But are these results actually any better than just, say, playing follow the winner? So we're going to go low because the last one was 24 up here. That was a 10th number back. I don't think so. I think if you play these a long time, I think you'll get the same results. Now, the really, like I said, the really nice thing about Martingale Plus is if you were playing, let's say, follow the winner, and I'm playing this, and we're on the same table, as long as neither one of us busts by the time we decide to stop, we will have the exact same profit balance, no matter what you decided, no matter what. We'll have the same, right? Because you're winning one every time. The only difference would be, so it's 18, we're going to go high because 18 is our 10th one over here. The only difference would be is if we're in different stages of progression, when it hits the zero, you may get a banger back because you're deeper in progression, and then you win the next one, which is going to give you a really nice profit, and I may not. So that would be the only difference. But all in all, and I think I will make a video, not right away, because I want to start my low bankroll challenge here. That'll be my next video, and I'll do that series for a while. Maybe I'll pull up like I used to. Remember when I had this same wheel, split screen, and we were playing that? So maybe that's what I'll do for the next video, is take this strategy and then play a different one, which is either follow the winner. I'm superstitious wise, I'm not a fan of static, just because I busted on static, and it's Tendagon, it tends, and I don't like playing color because, again, it's probably statistically it's all probably the same, but I just feel like I look down here and it's because color is so easy to see, but I do feel like often these prag tables go on long reds, usually reds, and sometimes they go on long blacks. At least that's what I feel like. And again, it's because it's so much easier to see the red or black. Okay, the next one's 12, so we're going to stay on high. So, okay. Oh my gosh, my daughter cooked up a storm yesterday. She had her boyfriend. We were at with my mom, spent the day. It was really nice. Some pretty decent football games on for a change. I never root for the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys, but I'm tired of hearing about the Chiefs. So I was, for the first time that I can remember in my life, I'm rooting for the Cowboys yesterday, and it worked out. I was rooting for the Lions. I thought they had some pretty crappy play calling going on, but I was rooting for the Lions as well. All right, there we go. Boom. All right, 23 is our 10th number here. So we're just going to report back here. Again, I chose 10 because, to me, and again, I'm not a person that's going to calculate the probabilities. That's college. I mean, that's a long time ago. The more progressions you have, it just seems to me the better chance you have. And that's with anything, right? But that's with anything. The more progressions you have, the better chance you have of winning. So that's like at the halftime, they asked the coach, what do you think you guys need to do? We need to score more touchdowns. Yeah, that makes sense. We need more first downs. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. All right. So that was a bomb. So now 6 is the 10th. So we're gonna go down here. to high, which is the opposite. So yeah, it was a good day yesterday. Hope you guys had a good day. I'm going to start the low bankroll series. That's the only video I'm going to do for a while. I will interject when I have certain videos like that, but that's okay. It's going to be boring. I want to prove to you guys again, especially on low bankroll. And who was it? Maybe just that you posted in the last video that going from say $100 or something to 10,000 is pretty tough. Yeah, it is, but I want to prove that you can do it. And I've done it in the past, right? I've taken 1,000, I've taken 100 to 1,000, 1,000 to 10,000. I'm going to do it again. All right, so we're at low because the last one was 25 over here. And actually, cropping the 10 numbers up there, I'm looking over at the software that's my screen recording software, and I can see that crop. It's actually easier for me. I don't even have to remember. I can go look just like you guys. Yeah, it is tough, but I want to prove I stand by it, and I'll continue to stand by it. If you play with the correct set of rules, let's call it, you can win. You can win. You can beat the casino. I was trying to think of my words here because it's not that you're going to win every single session. I don't want to say that, but you can win overall. The amount that you win is going to be much better than the amount you lose. And the rules are pretty easy, right? And you guys know them by now, or you probably already know them. One, proper bankroll management, which means you need to play within the proper progressions. Progressions are life, right? That to me, that's the number one thing. Whatever strategy you decide to pick and whatever one you feel comfortable with, I've told you this before, that's the brilliance of roulette. It doesn't matter what strategy, how much you cover. Well, it looks like we're staying on low. It doesn't matter. The odds, that's the brilliance of, you could cover everything but one number. You're not any safer technically than if you play one number because of the payouts, all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm going to prove to you again, if you have proper bankroll management, the appropriate number of progressions, time box it. That's my second most important rule, is time boxing our play, right? If you do that, you control, because we are our biggest enemy, and you can only control one thing in the casino, and that's you, right? Okay, come on, lady. Let's go, Demon Seed. Give us a, I shouldn't call her Demon Seed. She's not a Demon Seed. I take that back. You're not a Demon Seed. Maybe you're a Demon Seed in training. I don't know. What do you call that? A demon intern, a Demon Seed intern, maybe not. I don't know. So it's going to be good. I like it. Like I said, I did it before, 100 to 1,000, 1,000 to 10,000. And actually, we took 1,000 to 10,000, I think, on that last series, like in 8 days. It was pretty sick. We're not going to do that. I wasn't really playing with the same kind of rules that I am now. There we go. Okay. We're going to go, let's see. We're going to hit one more win here, and we're going to call this quits. We're going to go high because the last one, the 10th number is 13. We're going to, if there's something in particular you want to see, some sort of strategy, the best thing, number one, is get in our Discord, get into the roulette strategy channel, and detail out the strategy. I'll take a look at it. Again, I'm going to go through there. We haven't had a lot of new ones in there. If it makes more than 50 bucks, I'm going to give you all the profit above that. So remember, we're only going to play for 15 to 20. I might stretch it to 30. Depends on your strategy. I will consider stretching it to 30 minutes to give you, but the last one I did, right, I increased his suggested unit was $1. I made it $3 to give the best chance I could, because I want you guys to get that profit. I want you to get it. But I'll go back and review it. Maybe I'll sweeten the pot and make it even better, right? Maybe if it profits anything over 25 bucks, maybe that's a better, more realistic. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, post your thing there, or post it at least in the comments if it's super, super easy. Maybe it's you just like talking, but I try to get through the YouTube comments, but sometimes I don't. A lot of times I don't. So the easiest way is to get into, oh, come on. All right, 23, we are going to go low here. All right, here we go. All right, dealer change. Our Demon Seed intern is left. Let's see if we get a seasoned tenured Demon Seed. All right. Yeah. I don't recall. I haven't played with him a lot lately. I don't recall how I've done with him. Every time I say, oh, this deal, whenever we're live, everybody reminds me, yeah, you say that about every dealer. And that's true. And hopefully any of the dealers watching this, they know I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding about the results I get with them. There we go. All right, that's our last one. We're going to call it quits right here. We've been going for about 15 minutes. I like that time box. And in 15 minutes, we made $147.50. We had a bankroll, right, of $10,180. 10% of that, right, would be $100, right? Or excuse me, $1,000. So we've got 1% of what our bankroll in 15 minutes, 1% of that, maybe a little bit more. So not bad at all. Is my math right? 10,000, 10% would be 1,000, right? So yeah, it's early for me. It's still in the morning. I'm going to edit this and post it today. All right, that's it. Let me know if you got any questions, comments, ways to make this better, or if I'm wrong about the probability or whatever, put it in there. I'm not afraid to say I'm wrong, right? I do it all the time. I'm not afraid to show that I lose. I do that all the time too. All right, that's it, guys. Hey, be good humans. Us against the casino always. I'll see you guys next time with the low bankroll series coming up. Cheers.